I think there's a slightly different feel to it, obviously, this year with the fact that crowds are going to be coming back in, and fingers crossed we can keep that going. And that makes a real difference to our sport. It makes a difference to every sport, because when you look at the whole picture, it isn't just about the athletes on the field. It's about the whole experience, and part of that is our supporters, and that adds that real extra level of excitement. Looking forward to these next few weeks.
Dan, good to see you. Looking
Hi,
forward
Adam.
to being back again.
Yeah, likewise.
Looking a bit more at the rugby perspective from last year, how do you sum up last season, looking back on it from your perspective as coaches, and what are you maybe taking into this season most of all from last year?
Yeah, what are we taking into it? Well, I think we did pretty well last year, but we didn't do as well as we wanted to. I think that when you start every season, every club wants to win trophies and silver, and you put it into the context of the fact that only one team out of 16 can do it, but we all want to do it. Like we have the same goals, and I would say that where we start off, we're certainly not we'd be in the upper chances of doing that, but it's still incredibly difficult. But that's where we start from, Adam. We're after silver. We want to hold a trophy at the end of the year, and we're under no illusions as to the hard work that we've got to do. So we take a look at where we were last year, what we've got to do, and there are a number of things that we think we can push on. This summer we've looked to push on physically. We're a very fit team, but we've pushed ourselves further than we've pushed ourselves before in this pre-season, which is tough because the whole thing is, it's a very delicate balance of how hard you can push, but we feel we need to. We feel that's an area we can squeeze another few drops from. There are certainly areas around the rugby and the game model that we have that we're very happy with our style of play, but within that, there are areas that we're going to look to tweak. We've obviously got a new attack coach, so there'll be little areas around that we'll be tweaking. And also across the board, just trying to squeeze a little bit more out, because as I say, we're very happy with our style of play and the collective speed that we want to bring to the game, but within that there are little nuances that we're focusing on, so that they're all developmental aspects built on the fact that we want to win trophies, and that if you don't win trophies, you've got to squeeze a little bit more. I don't believe we've been far away over the last couple of seasons, but the bottom line is one team out of 16 wins, and everything's got to be humming for you. So there's a little bit of luck involved in that, but there's always a little bit of development.
And I know, obviously, you were all disappointed at the end of last season to have only lost 2 league games and not featured any playoffs or postseason. This year, new competition, new format, 8 playoff teams, a couple of new teams in the league. What are your thoughts on the new league going into it? Excited?
Yeah, very, very excited. I'm excited from the perspective that it looks a lot more challenging. It's an 18 game league, so there are 3 less games. Effectively, those 3 less games are you're losing your easiest games, which are your double headers against the teams that you would previously have expected to be winning against. So now there's a higher proportion of games against our provincial rivals, okay, who effectively over the last number of years have featured in the top 6 of the league every year. So, proportionally we're playing harder games, and then a lot of the double headers that have now gone are being replaced by the South African teams, who we expect to be strong. So it makes it very, very challenging, but we're up for that. Anything that's going to push us along and test us and give us opportunities to learn is exciting.
And over the next couple of weeks, Saracens back to back. First of all, whenever you're facing the same team twice in friendlies, what kind of challenges or advantages can that have? And secondly, what are you looking for mostly from your team during these 2 games? Is it just fitness, or are there things specifically you want to see in their performance?
No, I think it's first and foremost, like the back-to-back thing doesn't really matter. It just makes it really handy from an organisational point of view that you can nail it down, because getting pre-season friendlies is tough going, and the operation guys do a really good job to sort that out. So it doesn't really matter from that point of view, other than just getting the games, and that's really the point. It's there's only so much you can do within training. You need to get battle hardened, ready for the league. So being able to get out there and hit people with anger and a little bit of intent is what you have to do. So it'll be a question of getting guys the time that they need, a little bit of time that they're allowed, and prepping ready for the Glasgow game first up. The expectations are not in terms of performance, or not in terms of outcome. That's not what we're looking at. We're trying to look to see whether the things that we've worked on in pre-season, what level we're at, what stage we're at, and then we'll be able to adjust those as we go.
Dan was just talking to us about the pre-season, and he said it's the toughest pre-season he's given you to date. How's it been for you, and looking forward to the season? Dan said quite open that it's about silverware this year. How confident are you that you can challenge, and I guess if we get down to the bones, it's challenging teams like Leinster. How confident are you can get to that level this season and sustain it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's credit where credit's due. Our S&C have done a fantastic job this pre-season, and it's probably the first year I properly feel match ready without even having game time yet. But yeah, spot on. Like it says for the last few years as well, we're going to be consistently competing for championships, and I've no doubt the depth of the squad we have and the pre-season we've gotten behind us, we're definitely a step ahead of other teams out there. We know that. So I don't see why not, and there's full belief behind us as well.
Hey Stewart, good to see you.
Adam, how's things?
13 games last season, 12 of which were starts. How do you reflect on what was essentially your first full season in the Ulster senior team?
Yeah, rookie season, I got a lot more game time than I thought I ever would. Just coming the way the season worked, like a couple of games at the end of the Champions Cup, and then the few kind of games against Connacht and Leinster, and I was playing kind of for the A's, the limited game time we got there, and luckily started the first round, and kept on from that. Obviously it's nice Stu gets called up into the Irish setup, and you kind of spaces up for grabs there, so to get 12 starts was dreamy. So it was nice, and on that, performances kind of just back themselves up, and as you say, my first season, it was kind of easy in a way because I had people inside and outside me just helping me through that as a team.
And as first seasons go, it kind of took place in probably the weirdest environment you'll ever have to play in your career, and hopefully it's a long one. Starting this Friday, big numbers of fans are back, hopefully for the foreseeable future. How exciting is that? And I know we spoke about it a lot last season, but what does that do for a player looking forward to games, even just knowing that big a crowd's going to be there?
Yeah, it's exciting. I was quite used to it, in lockdown, being at Balmain Rugby Club, there's nobody there, so I was used to it. But really, really looking forward to 10,000 fans coming to Kingspan on Friday. So Yeah, I suppose it just kind of changes. I know it's a pre-season game and not much is up for grabs, but like having a fan like supporters there just makes you kind of nervous inside, and like obviously you want to play well, and now you've got something to play in front of. It's really nice. So I'll be looking forward to seeing them, and yeah, having the stuff them behind us.
You mentioned there because it's pre-season friendly, there's not a lot on the line. What's your motivation for games like this whenever you go into pre-season?
I suppose just as a collective, as a team, you've done your pre-season, all the hard work's behind you, and it's just kind of showcasing that. For me, it's definitely a time to put my hand up. Like I remember 3 years ago, I started the pre-season match, and it does go a long way. Unfortunately, I got injured in that, so I didn't really take a leap in that. But yeah, it's to showcase kind of what you've done and what you've learned over the pre-season, and kind of putting a sense of trust in your coaches if you can really do the job and stick to the structure that they've put in and worked hard on. So for me, it's just to showcase what I've learned and how hard I've worked, kind of, and the team is the same thing, and putting your hand up.